Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, we have seen some red in the crypto market. We've seen some negative news percolating and causing cryptos to bleed. Bitcoin below 22K, Ether at 1550, XRP at 38 cents. But most significantly, we've been seeing altcoins taking double-digit hits. Well, at the end of the day, I view this as a very healthy pullback and a nice upward retracement for the crypto market. This is something we needed to see. In my opinion, we were a little overheated, as we did have a great start to the year. But now, as we've been trading sideways for a little bit, this healthy pullback will allow for more of a slingshot effect for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market, especially altcoins, to continue to rise. Keep all of that in mind, guys, as you have to understand the psychology of retail investors. You see, before I get into the real meat and potatoes for the day, we have to see that the DXY had been increasing recently. But yesterday we saw a very healthy pullback. You see these big green candles right here. It's great to see those, because if we just go straight down in a straight line, it makes for unsustainable declines. That being said, this uptrend, in my opinion, will be short-lived, as we'll be continuing downwards for the DXY as the strength of the US dollar is waning. And something you guys need to consistently be paying attention to is XRP and the XRP price. The reason being, guys, is because I believe many people have an incorrect hypothesis of how XRP's price action is going to go. As we know, Jeremy Hogan stated we have approximately 45 days left before we see some type of decision made about this case. And with that knowledge in mind, we have to know that it's very unlikely that if Ripple wins or loses, that we'll see the price action happen as they announce it. It's very likely that if XRP is going to rise, it'll rise before some type of announcement is made to the general public. The reason being is because retail investors are exit liquidity. All of you are meant to be exit liquidity for the big institutions, the whales and the multi-billionaires. And all of you know this. There's news for the masses, and then there's news for the classes. The classes are always right. XRP is delisted on every single exchange in the United States, except Uphold. And if they are going to relist XRP, it would most likely be after XRP's price has already exploded to a level where they deem it's great for them to take profits at and use you for profit taking. See how that works. Keep that in mind as we continue on this journey, because right now the road is getting bumpy for the rest of the crypto market. Here we see that Kraken faced an SEC probe over an unregistered security sale. Jeremy Hogan stated Kraken offers up to 20% on staked coins, while Bank of America offers 0.001% in a paperclip. The SEC would want it to shut down. Kraken agreed to shut down their crypto staking services in their SEC settlement where they paid $30 million. But the reason this is so significant is because I remember back when Jeremy Hogan stated in the beginning of this lawsuit that XRP getting sued was actually going to be a good thing. Because while XRP is ending this case and finally getting some form of clarity, the SEC was going to begin coming after every other crypto on the planet. Right now, the SEC is starting with exchanges. But you better believe they have their sights set on regulating the entire industry. The SEC could very well be going over all of crypto staking, not just exchanges. And if they do, then Ethereum may be a prime target for them, as that would encompass most of the crypto market. And while I don't want that to happen, because retail would get wrecked, man, karma's a bitch. Here we see from Autism Capital that the SEC, IRS, and New York Department of Financial Services decided to go thermonuclear on crypto, as Kraken has shuttered their staking services and had been fined $30 million. They were also issued a summons by the IRS for user data, and Paxos is being investigated by the New York Department of Financial Services as well. This, in addition to the banking crisis currently being faced by Binance. The US 3 letters are strong-arming the banking sector into cutting ties with crypto exchanges and services. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 100% about crypto being a massive threat to banks. Crypto exchanges offering staking rewards is giving too much competition against a banking system that offers 1% interest, if that. See how that works? You go against the banking cartel, you get sued like Ripple did. Even though we know that Ripple is trying to work with the system, many legacy institutions will be losing some profits and an income stream because of Ripple lowering speeds and cost. Massive institutions make money on the friction that they force onto the financial system. And Ripple and XRP are looking to get rid of that, to make the engine, the plumbing of the financial system work better. These legacy institutions can't hold the dam back any longer. And while Eleanor Tourette is saying Gary Gensler is embarking in a midnight massacre, an attempt to bring all of crypto under his control, in the coming weeks, it's been stated that numerous organizations will be coming with a myriad of enforcement actions against exchanges, banks, and entities that mint tokens, as they want to bring them all under securities laws. Oh, the SEC is coming hard now. What all of you need to understand is, this is great for me to see as someone that has seen the SEC been silent for a very long time. I like to see them active, looking to sue people, because that means that action could very well be underway with a potential settlement and the potential ending of this case. We always have to be ready for anything that can happen. And needless to say, action, even if it's bad action, is better than stagnation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have this lukewarm news in the crypto front, you have to understand that I actually embrace negative news, because negative news correlates with great buying opportunities and make it, in my eyes, safer to be in the crypto market as opposed to extreme perma-bullish rhetoric. Here, this is a great point that's been made. The SEC got buddy-buddy with SBF, and almost no one gave them an exception to offer more service in the United States. But then they go after Kraken and Coinbase, the two most compliant US exchanges for services that the SEC previously refused to provide guidance on. Gensler is not a regulator, as we in the XRP army have known. He is an agent of anti-crypto agenda who only aims to wield power as cudgel for those he doesn't agree with. So the big question is, why didn't FTX get this treatment? It's because he's bought and paid for. And ladies and gentlemen, we've already known the truth about Gary and his connections to FTX and Senator Warren. But that being said, let's pivot our attention away from the SEC, their corruptions, and these enforcement actions. And let me remind you what's most important, because this is happening in a macro scale. We need to prepare for a massive devaluation of the US dollar if Saudi Arabia joins Russia in the BRICS alliance, which I believe they will. The two largest oil exporting nations will overthrow the petrodollar as a reserve currency. And we also have to remember that Saudi Arabia agreed to begin selling oil in yuan. You need to understand the ramifications of this. And not only that, I need you all to listen to this clip from Lynette Zhang as she breaks down how the US dollar is collapsing in real time. Please take a listen.
And look at the level of debt held by foreign and international investors. You can see going all the way back to the 70s that it's been a steady incline, a little dip in the 2002, but it's been a very steady incline. Little bit of bumpiness here going into 2008, and look at how straight line, and then there's a shift. Can you see that? That is a pattern change. And whether or not you realize it, and whether or not you even know what it means, what you need to know that it means is that something is changing. So when you get this straight line, and a little bit of bumpy here going into that, but up here is when the bumps really start. And look at this decline. Look at it. It is the largest decline in treasury debt held by foreign investors since they started tracking it. Uh-oh. So you see what I'm saying? The world is getting ready for the US dollar to no longer be world reserve currency. Are you getting ready for that? Let me show you how big that move is even more closely, because this was just the fourth quarter in 2021. Right? So a year, that's how much foreign holders of our treasury debt. Well, boy, they were the biggest buyers of the treasury debt other than the Federal Reserve. That's not true anymore. This is a danger signal. Soft landing, garbage. No such thing as a soft landing.
Guys, now that you've heard her quotes, please give her a follow at ITM Trading, as you need to understand that the world is getting ready for the US dollar to no longer be the world's reserve currency. I've stated time and time again, the biggest power the United States empire has had is having the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. This right here, this privilege that we as Americans have had for years now, decades now, is about to end. What you need to understand is what comes next. And what comes next is this new digital financial system, central bank digital currency adoption, and XRP's on-demand liquidity acting as the neutral bridge asset to facilitate the interoperability of all of this. I have yet another quote from Lynette Zhang talking about what could come and central bank digital currencies that I'd like all of you to listen to.
All right, so Kevin D asks, do you think that citizens will revolt before a CBDC is forced on us? Yeah, let me give it cross fingers too.
Yeah.
Double cross? Yes.
Double cross.
I doubt it though.
I doubt it though too.
I mean, how many people really know about CBDCs and what they really are? Very few people. So when it's pitched as this great thing, people are going to buy it.
There will be. You watch them pitch this, because this is what they were talking about. If we have CBDCs, there will be no more inflation. No, it'll be deflation, because they're going into negative rates, right? But that's how they're going to pitch it, because that's what they said.
You see, guys, that right there is something I've stated on my channel time and time again. And if you know the end game, you know what's coming next. Central bank digital currencies are the end game. Negative interest rates will be coming to a country near you, and I know it's hard to see considering they've been raising rates time and time again. But remember, during the health crisis crash, They just dropped interest rates straight down to zero within a day. They can do that again and more. And remember, to best incentivize central bank digital currency adoption, negative interest rates will be there. You don't believe it, it's still true. This is about total control, and they don't care how much they distort economics to do this. You better believe it's on its way. Even if you don't believe in XRP, you will use CBDCs in your lifetime. CBDCs will run on the XRP ledger, and we're invested in what the new money needs in order to work. We understand the end game, and everything from here on out should be very clear to you. Them saying they're going to keep raising rates, inflation, blah, 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 it's all noise. Because ultimately what they want is CBDC adoption. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off this video for today, it seems like I've been called out by one of the key contributors to the XRP ledger, stating that the notions that CBDCs will run on XRP is preposterous. XRP is a digital asset. What does that even mean? It's not a technology, so this statement makes no sense. These increasingly absurd and outlandish predictions and unsubstantiated claims are silly hopium nonsense. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I respond, I have to say a couple things. First and foremost, I have tremendous respect for Nick and the work he did while at Ripple and making the XRP ledger the powerhouse and the revolutionary technology that it is. And that's why it frustrates me so much that out of all of the outlandish predictions and hopium nonsense going around in the XRP army today, buybacks, Shane Ellis theory, gold backings, what you decide to call out as pure hopium nonsense is central bank digital currencies launching on XRP. My friend, if we're getting technical and your frustration is the fact that I stated XRP as opposed to XRP ledger in the tweet, fine, you're allowed to sulk about it. But quite honestly, I'm a big believer that 99.9% of the XRP community understood what I meant when I tweeted something with a 160 character limit in a short forum style post. The central bank digital currency private ledger will be leveraging the XRP ledger as well as RippleNet technologies and the Interledger suite of protocols. Based on all the documentations and all the posts Ripple themselves have made, Nick, it seems to me like XRP will be the neutral bridge asset, the on-demand liquidity for central bank digital currency adoption. And if there's something I've said here that is actually wrong, that you want to talk about like adults as opposed to calling people out over Twitter, shoot me a DM so we can have an interview and talk about it on my channel. If not, that's okay too. Thank you for all your hard work, Nick, and I hope this video cleared that up. Now, for those of you at home, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple, who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple, who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States. Ripple, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board. Ripple, 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team. Ripple, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website. Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.